All right, we've got one new release product that we're opening up tonight, and that's Bowman Draft. Yeah, jumbo version. It's going to take us a while. Should be good fun though. Bowman's always fun. You know I like Bowman, so I'm looking forward to it. We do have some information to go over. We try to get everybody on the same page each and every night before we actually get started ripping. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. Excuse me. Apologize in advance. My asthma is acting up today. So feedback is set to be automated on eBay. Anytime that you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get positive feedback in return with no waiting. Isn't that a good deal? And of course, the other thing there is to say thank you. Always appreciate you being here, hanging out with me, bidding, breaking, chatting, etc. We're taking a look now at what's coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, it's a 10-box case of TriStar Series 2 autograph mini football helmets and a half case of Flawless Baseball. The Flawless is loose boxes from a shared case. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all off nights. Yeah, we're doing a long weekend. We're going to have a couple of those before we get through the end of the year. But we'll come back on Monday and have a 10-box break of Leaf autograph football jerseys and a 12-box break of Leaf Ultimate Draft baseball. So that's what we look like for the days ahead. Now, shipping-wise, I'm going to estimate Monday on this because there are still a couple of breaks that I have to get out the door ahead of this that have already taken place. And there are a tremendous number of cards, even in a half-case break of this. So it takes quite some period of time to get it sorted and prepped for shipment. So to be on the safe side, I'm going to project Monday. Of course, if I can get it out to you faster than that, I will. It's always listed as plus or minus a day. Everybody's going to pull cards in here, so we should not have to worry about consolation cards. And let me check and see if everybody got paid up or not. Give me 1 second to check that. And it looks like they did. Hooray. Yay, yay, yay. Thank you, everybody, for that. So we can keep right on trucking. It is a 4-box half-case break of Bowman Draft Jumbo Baseball, and this is break number 1. It ended tonight on eBay, the same day it came out, and the same night we're breaking it, Wednesday night, the 9th of December. Our team names are on the left-hand side, and the winning bidder user ID is across from each team. So I'll give you a minute there to see your name up in lights, and yeah, so there we go. So we are getting ready to get underway. I do have to make one little change here, and that is the focus. You're going to notice here that your background is getting blurry, and I am doing that intentionally. I don't want you to sweat that, though. It's actually just going to let us look at our cards up a little bit closer, and we don't have to deal with all that nasty autofocus business. Hoping that inhaler is going to help me a little bit there. I know I keep you know, I realize. But I don't know, my asthma's kicked up tonight. So what we are looking for here, 3 Chrome Prospect autograph cards per box inside, and of course, loads and loads and loads of other stuff. A lot of base cards. There'll be Chrome and paper in here, and you'll see inserts and all kinds of other fun stuff. We will go a little bit slower through the first box than we do in subsequent boxes, just so that everyone can get a feel for what we're looking at and what we can expect to find in a typical box. So a little bit slower through that. And let me get some sleeves on the table, and then we're going to get cracking here. Hi, Jay Allen. How are you? Scott's asking if all the cards ship. Okay, guys, so here's how it works. Unless the listing description tells you something to the contrary, all the cards ship in all my breaks. Now, there are times when they do not, and it will always, without fail, 100% of the time, very clearly state that in the listing description. So in the absence of anything in the description saying XYZ doesn't ship or XYZ is a separate bidding category or whatever, then that means all the cards ship, okay? So we'll always tell you that 100% of the time. Down in the middle of the section where we talk about the quantity and the date of the break and the time of the break, and the section that one would hope that at least if you go look at nothing else, that you would at least look at that. So I will always have it listed there, and usually 2 or 3 other places as well, because people don't always read what you think they're going to. So we try to cover our bases. So the chrome cards here, as you can see, refractor, but unnumbered. And we're going to find, of course, lots of those in the middle. And there's the Nationals, Orioles, Yankees. The first 2 were refractors. That was the Nationals and the Orioles. The rest of these are not. Nationals, Cubs, Angels. Here's one of our autograph cards, but behind it, we've got a franchise futures insert, just base, unnumbered, and not a refractor. But nonetheless, as I said, pointing out what we're looking at as we go along. Now, first autograph we see, it's color. It's pretty, right? It's pretty. We always like to see color starting out. Hopefully going to be the sign of a hot half of a case. This is numbered 250. It's our gold parallel for the Giants and Casey Schmidt. So there you go, San Francisco, off to a fine start. Jay Allen says the Phillies, and he's actually got to get some sleep tonight. I thought you were going to try to get some sleep last night, man. It didn't work out, though, did it? So, yeah, I tell you. Sean, I already have put the spreadsheet up with all of our eBay user IDs, etc. on it. Unfortunately, I can't navigate away from the table again at this point because we already have boxes open, packs open, etc. So I can't navigate away from there now. I can certainly do that again at the end of the break if you need to, or, you know, if you want to know quicker, you just go to eBay and go to my eBay items I've purchased, and it should tell you right in there. The Cubs and the Astros with our 2 refractors, and here come the rest of our chrome cards along with an autograph. And here's another insert that we'll be seeing, I'm sure, throughout. It is called Glimpses of Greatness, and I would expect that we will see plenty glimpses of greatness before we wrap up tonight, would be my guess. And the Dodgers, this is a base autograph for Landon Knack and the Dodgers. Oh, Jay Allen, I hear you. He says asthma's kicking his teeth in. Of course, that's what I was complaining to you guys about there a minute ago, was having a little trouble myself. It has been crazy here, cold and then warm and then cold, and I don't know. 'Tis the season for my asthma, basically, is the moral of the story. The Cincinnati Reds have a Bryce Bonnin. That is a base refractor, again, unnumbered. And right behind it, another Cincinnati Red, Hunter Green. So both refractors in there, the Reds. Here's the rest of our chrome. Followed by a green refractor for the Phillies, and numbered to 99, of course, as our greens generally are. And that is Ragsdale. That's headed to you, Jay Allen, with your Phillies. Carson Ragsdale. And an autograph once again. So we hit all 3 of our autographs out of the first 3 packs we opened. What are the odds of that? It is numbered to 150. It's a Blue Wave parallel. Barnhart for Tampa Bay. So I guess we know the rest of the way through we're not going to be seeing autographs, but there's still plenty of stuff to see. And of course, we do go pretty quickly through the base because there is quite a lot of it, particularly when you have to sort it. Now, at some point, we may move to full case breaks of this, or when we move to super jumbo breaks of this, we'll probably separate out the paper base and have it as a separate bidding category from the chrome and the hits, but we're not going to do that for the first break or 2 anyway. To 499, that's Tristan Lutz, and it is a paper blue parallel there for the Brewers. And somehow, I think I also had a wrong size sleeve mixed in there, so I don't know what's going on there, but it looks like, I don't know. I think I've got some thick card sleeves mixed in here somehow, but we'll sort it out later. We'll just leave them like they are and worry about it later. How about that for a plan? There's the Orioles, Hudson Haskin, and Ryan Murphy for the Giants are the two refractor chrome parallels. And then there's another glimpses of greatness. That particular one was Zach Veen. Jay Allen says he's gone for tonight. All right, my friend, well, get yourself some rest, and we will keep trucking and try to find some ink for your Phillies if we possibly can. We will do our very best. Ooh, orange. I like the orange. Number to 25, of course. And it is paper. And for Tampa Bay, Ronaldo Hernandez to 25. Tampa Bay Rays. Then we've got the Rays and the Indians, our two refractor parallels. The rest coming up here with our chrome. Franchise Futures, Marlins, and I accidentally left one paper base in the back there. So my Lexington Legends officially lost their affiliation today. Of course, we knew it was coming. They said way back in 2019, what was it, 40 or so minor league teams were going to lose their affiliation in the realignment. And of course, it was projected that my Lexington Legends would be one of them, and they are. So they issued a statement today. Oh, we're still going to keep playing baseball, da 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 da. But I don't know. I don't know what kind of team they're going to field, but I guess we'll see. Casey Martin for the Phillies and Ronnie Mauricio for the Mets. And then we have Orioles, the A's, Red Sox, Giants, Reds, Tigers, and a different parallel than we've seen before. It's Max Meyer too, so that's kind of cool. So that's just basically the class of 2020 kind of parallel there. So yeah, I don't really know how that's going to work yet. I guess it'll be interesting what they decide, how they decide to do it, and what they decide to do. But certainly there are plenty of other teams in the same boat. But it makes sense, I guess, with everything that they're doing. I mean, it's now just it's all evened out. Every major league team now has 4 affiliates. And it's low A, high A, double A, triple A. The Angels and the Mariners. And then here come the rest of our Chrome cards. And a franchise futures for the Pirates. But it is kind of sad because the Legends, well, that we were Astros affiliates for a while up until like 20, I don't know, maybe 2012, somewhere in there. And that's when we switched over to the Royals, but we were Astros affiliates in the beginning. So we had some fun guys come through here. And I mean, even Roger Clemens was here and did a rehab stint pitching for the Legends once upon a time. The Diamondbacks and Perdomo and Dylan Dingler for Detroit. And I mean, they weren't bad, really, honestly. I left a paper in there again. They won the Atlantic Southeast Conference a couple of times, so they weren't horrible. Yeah, Sean, we're not stopping on any of the base, so I didn't quote-unquote skip it. We're just not stopping on it. We're only stopping on numbered stuff and autographs and all that. So obviously there's tons of base in here for everybody, including Torkelson. There's going to be base throughout for everybody. All the cards ship. If you see it go through, you're going to get it. But we're not going to stop and talk about every base card of all the first rounders or even number 1 draft pick. Torkelson. I mean, you're going to see it as it goes by, and if it's yours, you're for sure going to get it. There's the Giants and the Angels. And then we've got Chrome coming through and a Chrome parallel here for the Kansas City Royals. And that is your blue Chrome, which blue paper is numbered, blue Chrome is not, but still they don't come through super often. And then another glimpses of greatness insert there. So yeah, I mean, it would just take forever if we stop and call out every single player because everybody's interested, of course, in their player. So obviously, we know Torkelson is #1 overall. So there's a lot of interest in him, but the person who's got their team is interested in their draft picks equally. So, and that would put us in a position of pretty much stopping on every single card. And with this many cards in here, it just doesn't make sense to call them all out verbally when you can see them go by, of course. There's the Cubs and the Marlins for refractors. And then we've got a franchise future for the Cubs. All right. On and on we go. They love their base cards here in Bowman Draft. And I kind of wondered really how it would even turn out this year, considering the draft was cut back so much, and you figured, well, maybe it would be hard to produce as much product, but I think they did. I don't think they cut it back from years past. Didn't look like it anyway. Lodolo for the Reds and the Cubs for Ed Howard. I kind of thought they might, but it really doesn't appear that they have. All right, now Panini calls this white sparkle. I think Topps calls it speckle. I always want to reverse those two, but I believe Topps refers to that as speckle. And it is for the Minnesota Twins. And Balazovic, you know I butchered that. I know I butchered that, and I apologize. But yeah, I'm going to butcher that name every time. That's just how that's going to go. It is going to work just like that. So, of course, from now on, we're only going to have 20 rounds of drafts anyway. No more 40-round drafts after the realignment. So, I guess they'll still have plenty to stock things with. Obviously, way less than that even this year. So, the Tigers with a Colt Keith, and then there's the Cardinals with Mason Wynn. And here come our Chrome parallels. And first time we've seen one of these, and that is, of course, also for the Twins. I'm just going to go with Jordan because, you know, butcher that name. So that's the first insert of that type that we have seen, followed by another Glimpses of Greatness. So there you go. There is box number 1. 1 of 4. See, I told you, there's a lot of cards in here. They put a lot in every pack, which it doesn't take a terribly long time to break it, just by virtue of the fact that there is so much base, and you don't have to stop and talk about every base card. So it doesn't take a terribly long time to break it, an unreasonably long time to break it. Where it takes forever is sorting it and getting it ready to ship. Because, you know, when you watch it, you think, oh, that's not that many cards, because we can go at a pretty good little clip. Oh, but when you sit down to sort it, that's when it smacks you in the face. It's like, oh, yeah, there are a lot of cards in here. But that's all right. This is where you want to have lots of cards. Maybe worth a lot of money one day. Daniel Lynch and the Royals. And there's Daniel Cabrera for the Tigers, our 2 refractors. Here come our Chrome parallels. And then we've got one for the Cincinnati Reds with another one of our 2020 inserts. It's Austin Hendrick. Yeah, they've shuffled so much around at the end of the year. I think we are still going to get Bowman's Best before the year is up. You know, that's traditionally a December, a mid to late December product. And it was still on the calendar the last time I looked. But some of our other December stuff, notably Contenders Football from Panini, has been pushed into February. They're still just so far behind from those couple of months where everything was shut down. To $499, that's Cody Hosey for the Dodgers, and that one was a paper parallel. Then we have Indians and the Rangers with our refractors coming through the rest of our chrome right there, ending with a greatness for the Tigers and Riley Green. Speaking of Spencer Torkelson, we did hit a 1/1 of him last night in Leaf Ultimate Draft. We hit a printing plate 1/1 for Spencer. That was a nice little hit. Of course, you know, those printing plates are always dicey if you try to get them graded or anything, because they naturally have all kinds of marks and things on them. The Mariners and the Cincinnati Reds are our refractors. So there is our first autograph out of this box. It's headed to Texas and the Rangers with Evan Carter. And there is another Glimpses of Greatness, Jason Dominguez. And of course, I'm sure you saw your Torkelson go by there, Sean, in a chrome parallel. If he's yours, I'm assuming he's yours since you were asking about him. So yeah, we've got a few more releases coming before the end of the year, but not the push that we normally have this time of year. Got the Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Rays. As most of you know, normally from about the 1st of November until about the first week in January, we just get crushed with stuff. The Angels and franchise futures. This year it hasn't really been that way. And yeah, we're going to have much more of a break than normal for this time of year. And as a result, much less of a break in January. Because typically in January, it's kind of no man's land for 2 or 3 weeks where you have a sporadic release here or there, but not a mad crush of stuff. But as it looks right now, we'll be pretty consistent in January. I don't think there'll be a lot of downtime there this year. That's how it's looking at the moment anyway. To 250 for the Cubs, that's Caraway, and it is paper. Got Kierstad and Lynch, Orioles and Royals, respectively, for the refractor parallels, franchise future Orioles, and accidentally left one paper guy hanging out there in the back by himself. Of course, my Cincinnati Reds are, you know, busy dismantling the team that they managed to put together to at least finally have a semi-respectable season for the first time in what seems like 1,000 years. Texas Rangers, that's numbered to 250. It's purple, it's paper, and Evan Carter. We've got the Yankees and the Angels with our refractors. I mean, they've got Sonny Gray, excuse me, Sonny Gray is on the market, and there's another 2020, that one's for the Royals. And of course, they're, looks like, going to let Trevor Bauer walk, which I always figured they would. They never really want to pay anybody decent money. So they usually do let them go at the time at which they would be ready to have a big contract. Although inexplicably, then sometimes going out and signing old guys to big contracts that shouldn't be signed to them. But anyway, so yeah, we already traded off Rafael Iglesias, and now, of course, he was closer, reliever, one of our better ones. Here's St. Louis and St. Louis Cardinals squared in the refractors. We got Sonny Gray on the chopping block, and of course, Trevor is going to be headed out the door too. So yeah, we're not going to have much left in the old pitching rotation, which has been the one thing we've been terrible at for years. So, boy, but what are you going to do? All right, number 299. We've got one for the Padres. That is Robert Hassel. So that is a draft night autograph card. So that one is a nice little hit there for the Padres and a franchise future Mariners. So I never know what Cincinnati's doing. I mean, they make some of the strangest decisions, and I understand we probably couldn't have kept everybody on that rotation, but man, I don't know why we had to get rid of Iglesias and Sonny Gray. I mean, at some point, can't you just pay somebody who's doing a good job for us pitching? I mean, really. The Orioles and Westburg and the Indians and Espino. I believe that they're going to have to change ownership before things change too much with Cincinnati Reds. Maybe not, but that's my opinion. All righty, numbered to 250, the Dodgers and Bobby Miller. That was a purple chrome parallel. But I'm sure they'll figure out some way to plug somebody in those holes. But, I mean, it was nice to be at least semi-competitive, granted in a shortened, weirdo season, but still, Indians and Royals. You know, it was nice not to lose 100 games or so for a change, and now they're just going to blow it all up again. Oy. There was another glimpses of greatness. That one was J.J. Bleday. And then a refractor blue parallel for the Cardinals and Jordan Walker. And again, the blue chrome, while they are parallel, are not numbered. Our blue paper are numbered. Our blue chrome are not. Ooh, I see some red. Do you see that little side of red back there? That could be interesting in a hot second, huh? Yes, indeed. I believe we are going to have something nice coming up on us here in a moment. All right, our refractors are the Marlins and the Angels. It's our chrome parallel on the way to the red. That's what we all want to know, isn't it? It's going to the Royals. So Kansas City, numbered to 5. And I've got some gold behind it, more gold ink, as a matter of fact. But let's get KC sleeved up here first. And that is numbered to 5 with a Brady McConnell. So Royals, like that hit. And then we have Tampa Bay, Nick Bitsko, and that is a gold parallel numbered to 50 with a little ink on it. So our second gold autograph parallel so far out of these 4 boxes. So one out of each box thus far. Not too bad. If we can keep that up, I'd be happy. I'd also like to find some more red ones, and hey, maybe we can find some 1-of-1s while we're at it. What do you think? The Brewers and the Astros. Franchise future, Detroit. So can you believe we're just barely over 2 weeks from Christmas? Does not give us much shopping time considering nothing arrives on time. Isn't that the truth? I got lucky that this showed up. I actually get stuff from 3 different distributors out of 3 different states, and I have them sent by 2 different carriers. The Braves and the Pirates with our 2 refractor parallels. And out of all the stuff that was coming, which is considerable, there's a Shortridge for the Pirates, and there's glimpses of greatness. Torkelson, as a matter of fact, for the Tigers. So out of all the stuff that is due to arrive, only one lonely box actually made it on time, and it happened to be the box that had this in it, thankfully. So the super jumbo stuff isn't here yet. There's more Bowman Draft still en route that isn't here yet. And then we had Stadium Club Chrome. That isn't here. And basically it's all spread out. So things that were supposed to arrive today, some of them are showing that they will actually arrive tomorrow, and still another group of it is showing it's not even going to get here until Friday. So already UPS and FedEx are so backed up, and as we get closer to the holiday and more people are shopping online and more people are shipping their gifts across the country, whew, we may have some other days where nothing shows up on time. We had that happen once already recently. We had to move the date of the break to accommodate the missed delivery. For the Red Sox and the Giants, our refractor parallels. It's actually happened a few times, but the other times it happened, I got lucky in the sense that I had enough out of what did show up to do the break, but that's not always the case. We got lucky tonight, too. This is the only box that showed up. Out of 99, there is an Alex Santos autograph for the Astros, and there's more franchise futures as well. And of course, UPS just getting later and later and later. I mean, showing up like 7 o'clock, 7:30. But then the next day, if I have a different driver, he might show up at like 1:30. It's like, so I asked him the other day, I said, how come there's so much variance in what time someone gets here? Usually, like with the postal service and stuff, they just kind of run the route the same way every time. I know UPS is different in that they have different stops every day, but still, you wouldn't think they'd be 6 or 7 hours apart. To 150, that is paper headed to the Pirates with Shortridge. And we have the Reds and the Mariners. And of course, he's like, well, this is a training route. It's greatness. Adley Rutschman, nice hit for the Orioles. I mean, it's, a nice player for the Orioles. That was just a base insert. So I'm like, yes, I do know it's a training route, but still seems really weird that sometimes somebody's here at 1 o'clock and the other times they're not here till 7:30 at night. But he says that they just have to zigzag all over the place, that he might have to drive by my house 4 times before he can actually stop and deliver, because he's got to do pickups by certain times, or express mail deliveries have to be done by certain times, and then they have it come up in his handheld the certain way that he's supposed to do things. So he said, yeah, that's why sometimes we drive by your house a bunch of different times without stopping. That's the Indians to 250 with a Logan Allen. That was purple and paper. Got the A's and the Twins, both refractors. Franchise futures, Marlins. So what I ought to do is try to, every day that I'm supposed to have stuff delivered, I should try to schedule a pickup and then get them here that way. And then say, hey, will you go out and look in your truck and see if you can find my stuff? That probably wouldn't work either, though. There was one day about 2 weeks ago where he stopped and was out in front of my house like 10 minutes. So I finally went out there and I was like, is everything all right? He says, oh, I can't find your package. So even though this is where your stop is scheduled, we can't find your package. So we'll have to come back. Mets and Tigers with the refractors. And that was one of the early days, like 1 o'clock or something. There's a Torkelson insert. And he didn't show up again until almost 8 o'clock at night. I was like, oh, no. I didn't think he was coming back. I thought he never found it. But he did eventually. Although there have been days where people have it out for delivery and then they never deliver it. And then the next thing you know, it'll be 9 o'clock at night and you'll see it switch over to delivery exception. Like they've just driven back to the warehouse with the packages still on the truck. It's crazy. Kansas City Royals and the Orioles refractors. And we have an autograph for the Tigers, Clayton Beater, and it is a refractor parallel, so it is numbered to 499 for the Dodgers. And there's another greatness. That's Emerson Hancock on that one. probably a good time, but also a bad time to be a UPS or a FedEx driver. Good time in the sense that you have a lot of job security and they're making a ton of overtime, which they're very well paid anyway. And then you add that overtime in there at time and a half and double time, those guys are making bank. But the bad news is they are absolutely having to work themselves into the ground some days. The Braves and the Rays refractors. And they probably get yelled at a lot, I would imagine. If stuff is late or whatever, like it's not their fault, but they probably get yelled at anyway. The Pirates, blue chrome refractor, Gonzalez, unnumbered. And then franchise futures for the Pirates. But since I'm on a training route, I usually get just a mixture of people. Although, for most of December, I've had one guy, and he said I'll probably have him for most of the rest of the month because he knows this route really well, and they're obviously trying to get things done as quickly as they can every day. So maybe that'll calm it down a little if I can stick with one guy. The Dodgers and the A's were our refractors from that pack. And that is the Angels with Reed Detmers. It's been a lot of theft already this year, too, of packages. I'm sure you all have probably heard about that. It may or may not have happened in your neighborhood, but I know it is happening a lot around town here. People reporting their packages stolen, and even my UPS driver said he's had some stuff stolen off of his route. It's crazy. The Indians and the Nationals, our two refractors. And a Washington National blue parallel numbered to 150. And the Nationals with Holden Powell. Behind that, we have got an autograph that is a blue parallel to 150. And that's headed to Miami and the Marlins. And there's your number on it. Kyle Nicholas for Miami. Packages have been very slow, too, through the post office. There's no rhyme or reason. I mean, some of them still get there as you would normally expect them to in 2 or 3 days. Then I've had others. I've had a handful that have taken over a month to deliver. Of the ones that took over a month to deliver, some of them did not scan at all for more than 3 weeks. And then one of the others hadn't scanned in like 2 weeks when just all of a sudden, boom, it pops back up and then gets delivered. The Giants and the Blue Jays. So the post office, much like they were in the spring when the pandemic first started, they seem to be really backed up again right now. C.J. Abrams and the Padres. So, I send all the packages out, maybe the same, from a given break, same day, same time, same carrier, and you'll have 29 of them just get there when they should get there. And then you'll have the 30th one that maybe takes 2 weeks to get there. Or maybe you have 27 that get there when they should, and 3 that take 1, 2, 3 weeks to arrive. And even regular mail like letters, some of that stuff's taking 7, 10, 14 days. The Mariners and the Mets with refractors. So I guess you would think the post office would be making money, wouldn't you? But no, they say they're still losing massive amounts of money. For Arizona and the Diamondbacks, that is a blue chrome parallel, unnumbered Liam Norris. And then we have another speckle for the New York Mets. Alvarez, Francisco Alvarez on that one. So I'm sure most, if not all of you, have experienced this in one side or the other, either from something you've shipped or something you've been waiting on. So you probably know all about what I'm talking about when Things just don't quite show up when they're supposed to these days, at least not when we expect them to. The Rockies and the Angels refractors. Franchise futures, Cubbies. We've got an Orioles refractor. And behind that, another Orioles refractor. So they're 2 for 2, refractor-wise, out of the last pack. Ashby for the Brewers, and then Andrew Vaughn for the White Sox on the 2 inserts. You know, I had thought about getting one of those parcel lockers. Have you guys seen those? It's big things you set on your porch and or wherever, and they have a combination on them, and you're supposed to be able to, if you have it, I guess the way you set it up is the combination or whatever you have to get in it can be like the last 4 digits of the tracking number. So say, for instance, UPS showed up and you weren't home, they could enter the last 4 digits of the tracking number to open that thing up and then put your packages inside it. It's a pretty big size thing, and then no one could steal it off your porch. But my thought is, if I can't even get UPS and FedEx to knock on the door or ring the doorbell when they drop off packages at my house, I don't think there's any way they're going to stop and enter some 4-digit code off the tracking and put it in a locker. So, I mean, those things are great in theory, but in practice, I bet it would be nearly impossible to get any driver to do it. I really don't think they would. The Astros and the Rockies. Because truly, what, 90% of the time, they don't even knock on the door or ring the doorbell, at least around here. I don't know about where you are, but that's how it is around here. Little tiny autograph for the San Francisco Giants with Patrick Bailey. And then an Asa Lacy greatness insert. Next up, the Padres. And the Cincinnati Reds, and behind it, with Joe Boyle, it were a couple of refractors. There was, I think there was a Jason Dominguez, I believe, FYI. Just a base one, though, base chrome. To 250, the Milwaukee Brewers, and that was Aaron Ashby. Followed by a Marlins autograph, and it is also the refractor parallel, so numbered to 499. And you've got your Dax Fulton autograph for Miami and the Marlins. Seems unusual not having a Friday release this week. We're not going to have a Friday release next week either. So we're going to have, I believe, 1 football and 1 basketball release on Wednesday. It's Immaculate Football and Hoops Hybrid, which I'm not sure is Wednesday, but I'm pretty sure that it is. There's a Logan Allen for the Indians. I thought it was numbered, but it wasn't, but that's all right. And there's the Royals. I don't know why I thought it was numbered, because it's right where our base refractors have been all night, but for whatever reason, I looked at it and thought it was going to be. The Milwaukee Brewers and Zamora, that is numbered to 250. The purple chrome autograph there for Milwaukee. Hi, Scott. He wants to know when 2020 Topps Heritage High number comes out. Oh boy, I don't even know. I'm sure if I don't have my spreadsheet in here with that on it. That's actually in my office, and it changes very, very frequently. So I do not remember for sure when it comes out, but I want to say it's somewhere like March-ish. Or, oh, actually, no, wait, I'm sorry. You're talking about not regular Heritage. You're talking about Heritage High Number. I'm sorry. You said that, 2020 High Number. Yeah, that's looking like that might be the 30th of December. That might be the dead last release of the year from Topps, unless they move it. Because we still have Bowman's Best coming from them, and we still have, besides what's coming on this Wednesday upcoming that I just mentioned, we've got Flawless Basketball and Bowman's Best scheduled for whatever date that is, the 23rd, I think. Not this Wednesday, but not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So the Diamondbacks and the Tigers, and then the rest of our Chrome. And then I believe the only other, excuse me, thing that we have, and this is again, if it doesn't move, after Bowman's Best and Flawless Basketball, I think the only thing left is the 30th, which is, I think, Heritage High Number, unless they have moved it within the last few days, which they are routinely shuffling that calendar around. But the last time I looked at it, that's where we were. I think Immaculate Football and Hoops Hybrid Basketball are for sure for this upcoming Wednesday, as in a week from today. The other stuff, speculative. Red Sox and Diamondbacks. But I will tell you this is actually really handy if you want to use it, and they've done a pretty good job, as best I can tell, of keeping it pretty up to date. And you can just Google, if it's in Blowout forums, but if you Google like Blowout release calendar updated daily or something like that, it should take you right to that forum page. And they have it broken down by date. And then below that, they break it down by sport. And they have been keeping it pretty current, as best I can tell. So as soon as something's announced, they seem to be on it. I mean, they do say they update it daily. And I think they really have been. Whereas some of the other websites, you'll see a release date and they may not have changed it when everybody knows it has moved and they just haven't changed it yet. To 150 Cincinnati Reds, Reese Hines, blue parallel. Tigers and Cubs, refractors. But that might be a good handy place to kind of check things out right now, because it is literally changing every single week for the most part. Something changes. And they don't even really technically send us calendars at this point. We used to every week get an updated calendar from Topps and an updated calendar from Panini. And now we very seldom see those, maybe once a month if we're lucky. And instead they make all these little micro changes on a semi-daily basis, and you just have to kind of guess when stuff comes out, honestly. The Rays and J.J. Goss, and the Rays with Ian Seymour, our two refractors. So I generally don't plan on it until my distributor actually has it under their roof. And then I'm like, okay, now we know it's really coming out. The Texas Rangers, that's Chrome Parallel, unnumbered, Sagasi, something like that. The Angels, Jordan Adams, that is numbered to 150 with the blue Chrome Parallel. Yeah, the thing that surprised me the most was Contenders football getting moved out of December, because we've had it come out really late before, on the 30th or thereabouts, and I'm a little bit surprised that they moved that back, but I guess they didn't have any choice. Last I saw, Contenders football was scheduled for January the 13th, I think it was, but that's probably going to move too. I wouldn't be surprised. The Oakland A's, this is paper purple to 250 with Criswell. Colorado Rockies and the Cubs, our 2 refractors. Come the rest of the chromes. We've got 4 packs left. It looks like Ramos here on the top. That's going to be the first of our refractors going to San Francisco. Why did I say St. Louis? San Francisco. Sitting there looking right at it. And then the Marlins had the other refractor. And another Adley Rutschman insert. Minnesota Twins. And our other refractor headed to the Padres with Hessel. Blue parallel, unnumbered Indians and Tucker. And then franchise futures, the Angels. 2 packs left, 2 little lonely packs left. Whoops. Sometimes those guys slide in behind one another a little more quickly than I mean for them to. The Mets and the White Sox, our 2 refractors. And then franchise futures for the Tigers. All right, last pack. Try to bring the mojo here, see if we can have some luck. Some special, extra special luck maybe out of our last pack. We're going to try it anyway. See what we can get. And that's Thomas for the Diamondbacks. And then we've got the other refractors helping for the Indians. And the last little bit of what we've got to look at right now, 1 for the Cubs and 1 insert for the Padres. And that gets our half case of jumbo draft finished up, but we are going to recap some things. Of course, our autographs as well as our numbered cards here and some of our unnumbered parallels as well. We'll just whip back through all that stuff. So if you missed some of it earlier, this is paper to 499. Our blue paper are numbered. Our blue chrome and the light blue are not. To 250, the Oakland A's. 150, the Angels. The Reds, this is also paper. It's to 150. To 250, the Brewers. This is paper to 250 for the Indians. Paper to 150 for the Pirates. And I have Dodgers. I have paper to 250, the Rangers. Paper to 250 for the Cubs. And paper to 499, the Dodgers. This, of course, is unnumbered, but there are not tons of these. And it is, I believe, called Speckle by Topps. It's called White Sparkle in the Panini world, but I think Topps calls it Speckle. I always get those 2 reversed, but I think that's right. Numbered 225. This is paper for the Tampa Bay Rays and Hernandez. And that is unnumbered for the Indians. That I is just stacked in the wrong spot. I just stacked all those in the wrong spot. We did look at them, I'm sure, the first time through, and then I just plopped them right on top of the wrong stack. So there you go. Got to look at them a second time. This is unnumbered for the Rangers. Here is another speckle. It's the Mets. Unnumbered for the Dodgers, numbered to 150, the Nationals. Unnumbered, the Pirates, numbered to 5 for the Kansas City Royals. Unnumbered, Cardinals. Unnumbered, Royals. And numbered to 99, green. Was that our only green tonight? I think it was, for the Phillies. Now our autograph recap. The Brewers to 250 with Zamora. A refractor parallel to 499, the Marlins and Fulton. The Giants with a base autograph for Bailey to 150, the Marlins and Nicholas. The Dodgers refractor parallel to 499 with Beater. To 99, so not our only green tonight, the Astros and Santos. Gold numbered to 50, that is headed to the Tampa Bay Rays, Bitsko. For the Padres, a draft night autograph, and that is Robert Hassel going to San Diego. The Texas Rangers and Carter with a base autograph. We've got a blue wave parallel to 150 for the Rays with Barnhart. Base auto for the Dodgers with Knack. And we got it started tonight with this little fellow here, numbered to 50 with a gold parallel Schmidt for San Francisco and the Giants. All right, so that is the break and the recap for tonight. What I will do now is put up the spreadsheet again. I know someone had a question about if they were in the break or maybe what teams they had in the break, so we'll go ahead and put that up again. Then we'll take one more look at when you can expect your items to ship, and then we'll take one more look at what is going to be breaking in the days ahead. But first things first, let's get back here. Whoever it was up there that had a question, it might have been Sean. You can look here now and look for your eBay user ID there across from your team. Get a chance to take a look there and make sure you're seeing what you need to see. And that gets us finished up there. Monday is when I'm anticipating having this out the door. Of course, lots and lots of cards in here, so every team pulled cards of some sort. We don't need to worry about consolation cards. As always, it is plus or minus a day on the shipping. So if I were able to get it out sooner, the minus a day would be Saturday in this case. And if something happened and I couldn't get it ready by Monday, the plus a day would be Tuesday, but I'm hopeful that I can have it ready and out the door on Monday. That is the plan. As far as the days ahead, it looks like this. Tomorrow night, it is a case of TriStar autographed mini football helmets and a half case of Flawless Baseball, which is a loose box from Shared Case. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all off nights this week. Then we'll come back on Monday and open a 10-box case of Leaf autographed football jerseys and a 12-box case of Leaf Ultimate Draft baseball. So that is, what we're looking like in the days ahead. And I guess that's pretty well got me wrapped up for tonight. So thanks, everyone, for being here. Always appreciate it. I hope I will see you again on a future break. In the meantime, enjoy what's left of your week and stay safe, happy, and healthy. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye now.